Okay, we're going to talk about the financing of healthcare systems, a little bit on economics of healthcare systems, and the first thing we're going to talk about is insurance. Now, we all know what insurance is. We all use insurance. So I technically shouldn't have to discuss this with you, because you already know. But I want to make sure you see it the way I want you to see it, so we'll talk about that. So who wants to tell me what insurance is? What's insurance?
It's a paid service that you pay a certain amount of money, and then whenever, for a certain reason, or to prevent something, certain thing, and when it happens, you. Oh my God, it's the most primitive definition.
You're getting it.
You get this amount of money regardless of how much you pay. This is how it works.
Okay. Insurance is about risk. And it's about actually managing risk. Okay, so everyone has car insurance, right? Why do you have car insurance?
Because the risk to be crashed.
Okay, so let's talk about it. You pay how much money for car insurance every month? $100, okay, fine. $100 a month. And why do you pay that? I'll do this with Danielle now. Why do you pay $100 a month?
So that if I get into an accident, I don't have to pay thousands of dollars. It
Right.
protects me.
It will protect you, right? So over a year then, you have paid $1,200, right? And over 10 years, you will have paid $12,000. Okay? What's the likelihood that you will get in a car accident over a 10-year period?
Likely from living in Indiana.
Yeah, pretty likely. And what do you think the cost of that, of the repairs is going to be? Or you may have more than one accident in 10 years.
Depending on if there's injury, if it's just a car, potentially up to $4,000.
Yeah, so let's say, would you say $4,000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, let's make it 6. It doesn't matter, okay? Right? So chances are pretty good that you will get back $6,000, leaving the insurance company with $6,000. So what does that second $6,000 pay for?
Other people's accidents.
Other people's accidents, okay?
Administration profits.
Administration and profits, okay? Others? Administration,
Marketing.
profit. Yeah, that would probably be part of the administrative cost. And catastrophe for you. Okay, so the chances that you'll bang up your car and that you're going to need to have it repaired are substantial. And then you do it once or twice, it may easily cost $6,000. But what's the car worth? Maybe not
Not
yours.
very much. Probably a couple $1,000. It's old.
Okay, so what about, someday you're gonna make a lot of money, you're gonna have a real car. What does a car cost?
Like 40,000.
Yeah, in the United States, maybe we'll say $40,000. Okay, let's say.
Nice car.
Nice car.
Like literally, my whole life standards is like 20,000. Okay, let's do 30 to be nice.
Okay. Toyota,
Tesla.
Celica.
Go ahead, 25, isn't it?
I don't know.
It depends on the type, the make, the model, the year.
It depends what you do with the public health degree.
Like
We're
me,
good
I'm
job.
gonna get some.
Okay, so let's say there's a risk that you may have a $30,000 expense. And part of the reason you're paying that $6,000 is that there is a small but very real chance that you will total your car, in which case they will pay out $30,000, although all you paid in is $12,000. Okay? Or, hopefully, you're lucky, you don't do it, someone else does. Okay? Excuse me, you don't have a catastrophic event, someone else
That's
does.
not very lucky.
And that $6,000 helps to contribute there. Okay, right? But there are also these other costs, right? Including a profit for the insurance company. Okay, what's the alternative?
Take the risk.
Take the risk.
And you pay as much as.
Pay as you go.
Pay as you go. Now, who is best at paying as you go?
Rich people.
Rich people. Yeah. So if I total a $30,000 car, what do you think? Can I afford to buy a new one?
Yes.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay. And so for me, paying $12,000 may be a waste of money. Maybe over that 10 years, I'm just going to pay $6,000. That's really the cost. I'm paying out the car a couple times, pay $6,000. I save myself $6,000, and I take my chances. I can afford to take this risk. So, the richer you are, the greater the risk you can take. The poorer you are, the lower the risk. Okay? Some basic concepts of insurance. All right, now, let's say we want to start our own auto insurance company. Right here in this class. There are, I think I've counted 14 of you here today. Who wants to join me in creating this company? We'll make it a mutual company. We'll all be co-owners. Who wants to sign up to do this? We're going to share our costs. We're going to reduce our risk, individual risk, by 14, factor 14. We're all in this together?
No, we're not.
Okay, it's down to 13. Why don't you want to do it?
Personal reasons, I don't like insurance companies.
Okay, we're going to get to that. There's a reason not to do it.
What's the offer?
We drop our national insurance, auto insurance. The 14 of us, 15 of us, all form one insurance company. We share the risk. The
I don't
15
know.
of us.
I don't know how
We
far
have
you
to
drive.
Because I don't know if you're a lousy driver, so I'll actually pay for your,
Same thing. You're willing to pay for somebody to look at the risks of each of us and what's it called? An adjuster, but not an adjuster, whatever it is, okay? So that's a concern. We don't really know. Kingdom, what were you going to say? What else?
No, just about the, what is the question?
Is it a good idea for 15 people to form an insurance company?
Well, obviously not, because we are not equally risk averse.
Okay, so we may have different philosophies on this. I'm getting to something even more basic than
There
that.
also may not be enough people to balance the thing.
You must have gotten a good grade in biostatistics, did you?
No, I didn't check it.
Not enough people, small numbers.
Okay.
What did Ruhama tell those of you who took Ruhama's course? Can you do a statistical analysis on 15?
No.
No. Why?
It's too small of a cohort.
It's too small of a cohort to get meaningful data.
Yeah.
Each of us contributing $1,200 a year does not handle our risk very well. The numbers are too small. You need a certain number together to make insurance work. So if you have a big enough number, then it's very predictable. Actuaries, that's the word I was looking for, right? So an actuary will tell you you need 10,000 people, 15,000 people, 5,000 people, whatever it is, then you can predict exactly how many catastrophic cars will have to be replaced in a year. Very, very carefully. You can create a budget. You'll know what your profit's going to be. It'll be very predictable. Okay? So, the bigger the numbers, the better the risk management. So, in a nation, let's talk about how nations handle risk. Who's responsible for the risk in a nation? Who said that? Yeah. The ultimate insurer of the safety of the public and the health of the public and the goodness of the public is its government. If it's a monarchy, well, then the king better do it. If it's a democracy, then the elected officials have a responsibility of doing it. So let's take a couple examples of natural disasters. In the United States, we had Hurricane Katrina some years ago, okay? I was going to mention it before because in New Orleans, many people lost all their medical records because in the United States, they're often not electronically recorded. And if they were just washed away in computers. There was no system, and many were paper records instead. Okay? But who paid for repairing the damage done by Hurricane Katrina? The people, ultimately the government, because the insurance companies weren't big enough to handle it. Okay. What about the wildfires here in Haifa in the fall? Who's paying for that? I would assume the government is paying a lot of it. I mean, there may be insurance companies that pay for part of the damage done, but ultimately, the ultimate insurer is the government. So if you look at the health of a population, the logic would dictate that the health of the population is the responsibility of the government, and it would make sense to have universal health care. And in fact, it would make sense to have a single payer for health care. Now, as we've learned, and we'll hear more, in many countries, there's an intermediary created for various political reasons called a sick fund. Here they're called HMOs. And whether it's a sick fund or insurance companies, there's typically some intermediary. In Sweden, there isn't. Government really doesn't. Okay? Now, let's talk about payment mechanisms. Well, we actually did talk about that already, right? So let's just briefly review it. Fee for service. What's good and bad about it? Good about fee for service. What does fee for service do? It stimulates
Profit.
profit,
Activity.
volume.
Yeah, volume.
Fee for service stimulates volume. Right? The more you do, the more you get paid. As a professional, it's quite rewarding to be paid. I mean, when I was in clinical practice, I was paid exclusively fee for service. The harder I worked, the more I got paid. It made sense. It's logic.
Fee for service and out of pocket, that's.
Not necessarily. Insurance can pay for it, government can pay for it. Okay? But it's volume driven. The more service I provide, the more I make. And that is corrupting to the basic human condition. Professional or otherwise, we are influenced by our ability to make more money by working harder.
But then what if people take advantage of that and they see more people but not necessarily give a high quality of care?
That's the problem.
That's what
It
they
happens.
should.
That's it. Okay? And it's a corrupting problem. It's a serious problem everywhere in the world. Okay?
Supply induced demand.
I'm sorry?
Supply induced demand.
Supply and induced demand. Okay? Now, the opposite of that is called capitation.
Actually, no, isn't the opposite salary?
Salaries in the middle.
Salary.
We'll talk about capitation and we'll talk about salary in a minute. That's coming up. Capitation says, I pay you a fixed amount of money to take care of a population of people. And You get to keep the money, no matter what care you provide.
It's budget, right?
It's a budget. So the less care you provide,
The
the more money you make. So you heard me say before, and I worked, when I was in my residency training, I worked in a place like this. It was a new idea in the 1970s. And the phone lines were always busy. You couldn't get through to make an appointment. Why? Well,
There was only one.
there was only one person, they weren't paying for more than one, and they didn't want people getting appointments.
The phone was off the hook.
Phone was off the hook, essentially, couldn't well be, right? Because we got a fixed amount of money, so the fewer people we saw, the fewer staff we need, the fewer rubber gloves we needed, whatever.
The more you keep.
The more money you keep, that's capitation. Now, I want someone to tell me why capitation is good. I just told you why it's bad. So capitation stimulates low volume,
Easier budgeting, easier management.
easier budgeting. From a medical, healthcare perspective, what's good about capitation?
Can you spend more
It's
time with
a
your
fixed-
patient?
You might. What patient?
Difficult ones.
The difficult ones, the sick ones,
Mm-hmm.
the expensive ones. In sophisticated capitation systems, the doctors have to pay the hospital for the care that's provided. Maybe not me, Richard Schuster, but me, my group. So we'll get, let's say, in US dollars, $100,000 a month to take care of a population of people. We have to pay for their x-rays, their lab tests, when they see the cardiologist, when they get hospitalized. So my incentive is not to give them care, right? Because I can keep $100,000. What's wrong with that, though? What's going to happen to these people?
The quality of service is not.
Quality of service is going to be really important, particularly for the sick people. Because if I have somebody who's got a serious medical problem, I'm in internal medicine, so congestive heart failure, okay? Or maybe a cancer patient. He's got somebody who comes to see him with a small little polyp on their larynx. Is it cancer or isn't it cancer? If it's cancer and he misses it, it's going to be very expensive to take care of that patient. If he removes the polyp before it becomes a big surgery, he saves a lot of money. Not only does the patient get better care, he saves money, he gets to keep it. If I can take somebody with congestive heart failure and keep them out of the hospital, I get rewarded financially.
So you're saying that being on budget can improve the
Quality. I'm sorry.
judgment, the medical judgment,
Yeah.
and so you are trying to make the best out of the least company?
Right. So what you say is, Danielle, you are healthy, you're not going to be seen today. Davy, you have a health problem. I'm going to come, if you don't come to me, I'm going to go to your house to take care of you, because I don't want you in the hospital, because it's going to cost me money. Okay?
So you prevent people from really going to extremes so that you can be able to.
Right. This is the model. It's been used. It's used successfully by Kaiser in the United States. Okay? And we'll talk a little more about Kaiser, because this is for them. It's not quite the perfect model for Kaiser. Now, what's the problem with it? The problem with it is that people don't understand how to use it. Doctors don't understand it. They aren't trained to use it correctly. And the consequence is that they say no to Danielle, which is sensible. They also say no to Davy. Okay? All right? In other words, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make you sick, but they don't take proper care of the sick people.
It really depends
Even
on the
worse,
education
they can
of
say
the-
they can develop mechanism in order to keep the sick people out of their
Yes.
practice,
Right.
in order to only to keep
Right.
the healthy population.
Right. So in the United States, when they started this capitation business, people had to register. And the famous story is, this is especially in California, okay? The insurance office was on the second floor of a building with no elevator.
Oh,
What does that mean?
Selection.
Can go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be healthy enough to climb the stairs. No wheelchairs, no crutches, no heart problems. Only healthy people could get there to sign up. It's called cherry picking. Okay? Right? Okay? Taking the cream.
Cream scheme.
Cream scheme, right, that's correct. Okay. So, this system is theoretically a good idea. It is being experimented with. In the United States currently, one of the things that the Affordable Care Act has done, I actually mentioned this, is to stimulate the creation of accountable care organizations. That's what these things are. They will be responsible for managing some of the costs of care, and they will be rewarded for it. I mean, how does a hospital in Israel operate? You get a budget, you do the best you can do. Okay? Now, the reality is, in Israel and many other places, the costs are higher than the costs are higher than the revenues. So you're always fighting to just barely get by. Okay? But on a year-to-year basis, if you can create efficiencies, you should be keeping the money. Okay? That's what's supposed to happen. That should be the encouragement that the government or the SID funds give to the providers.
The government, here, in other places, the HMOs, they give you a cap, not capitation, but a cap. So you can earn $1 million a year. More than that, you will
Pass back to them. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about salary for a minute. Now, I'm talking about physicians because physicians control healthcare costs. Nurses generally do not. Okay? So it's physicians who drive so much of healthcare spending that when you set the payment mechanism for physician income, you set the whole healthcare system.
The most expensive instrument in healthcare is the doctor's pen.
Right. Okay? All right, so salary. What is salary? If you salary a physician, what's their behavior? We talked about this once, but let's just do it again.
It discourages excellence. You know, well, I mean, there's no incentive for me to do more.
Zero problem.
So the
Even
disadvantage,
profits.
is that you aren't rewarded for working hard.
Right.
But you aren't punished for working hard
Yeah,
either.
that's not good.
Okay?
But then it fixed volume.
You have a relatively fixed volume. Okay? Now, what salary, and this is said with bias, my bias, okay? I believe that salary relies on professionalism. Okay? So, let's go back to Davy. She's no longer a patient. Now she's a doctor. She's going to medical school very soon. Okay? Right? She's doing this because she's professionally committed to medicine. That's why she's going into this. Not to make a lot of money. You may not. Okay? But because that's your calling. Right? And that's really why many people go into medicine. Not everybody, but many. And I think if you give a physician a good salary, and you give them the responsibility, they will be good doctors, they'll be proper with the care that they deliver. They won't be influenced tremendously by money as tremendously as these other mechanisms. Okay? Now, I'm saying that with bias, but what sits behind my bias is a lot of reading that I've done, and a lot of experts say the same thing, so it isn't just one voice.
Why is that substantially different from capitation in the sense that how does that not reduce volume just by, the sheer fact that I'm going to get the same amount of money regardless of what I do?
So I'm going to say, I'm going to go back to my two patients over here, sorry. Okay, you're no longer a doctor, sorry. Okay. I'm going to say, Danielle, I'm sorry, I mean, my professional responsibility is I don't have time to take care of you. You're okay. You're going to get better without me. Because I have a professional responsibility to take care of you. Okay. Does that answer your question or no?
Well, not, I mean, it's based on the ethics of the individual doctor, obviously,
Yeah.
but why is this substantially different from capitation in the sense that it's not financially worth my while to work harder? It's absolutely still worth my while to be relatively lazy because I'm going to get the same amount anyway if I'm on a set salary.
Okay. I'm still may not answer your question, all right? So, I'm your boss, and you're lazy, and my responsibility, you're a boss, how many doctors work for you?
53.
Okay? What do you do with the lazy ones?
Well, in Israel, after their 2 years you can't do much because they have tenure. So that's one of the real problems
Okay,
here.
so
but
what you
if
need
I was
to
in the
do
private system,
is
I'd fire them.
You need to change the tenure process, okay?
We
Right?
do.
All right? And if you can't, then you make their life unhappy. There are ways that you manage people to make them know that you're unhappy with what they do, okay? It's a problem. When you have someone who is lazy or not ethical in any of these systems, they'll abuse it. Okay? Rania and then Lynn.
Is it fair to say that people on salary usually also have certain number of hours that they should give?
Yeah,
And that's why they are, even if he wants to, even if he doesn't want to work, eventually he will see patients and he cannot get.
yeah, sure. Your contract says you have to come into work at this time, you have to stay until this time, and somebody else is going to determine how many patients you see. I mean, really, that's often the way it is. You may be ill-tempered, you may not be nice to people.
But you have to be there.
You still have to be there, and you gotta, you can't leave until you see all the people who you're supposed to see. Lynn?
From my experience, like working in a university, working in a university hospital where actually most doctors were paid by salary, and only like the chief doctors, they had like some private customers. I think you could actually very nicely see that the ones which had a salary, they really worked evidence-based and really on the, what is like knowledge, and then as soon as there was some incentive financially, there was like, and that was actually the most educated people because they had like the financial incentives and the pressure from the hospitals to get more money in, they started to do not good work. Like they started to, like with the women, which is very upsetting. Like,
Right, I mean, money is corrupting.
yeah.
Okay, it is a statement of fact. And I'm old-fashioned, I suppose. I still believe that medicine is a profession, and if you appeal to people and you take a young physician and you say, this is your profession, they'll act professionally. Most of them will. Okay? All right. Hold on, I was going to say one more thing. In many countries, what you will see are two different groups of physicians paid differently. You will see a class of physicians paid fee-for-service and a class of physicians paid a salary. Which type of physician and why would fall into these two categories? Who did Japan? Rich and poor.
I did Japan.
Japan fee-for-service.
Fee-for-service stimulates what?
Volume.
Volume, availability, and service. Who does that? What type of doctor?
Primary care.
Primary care, family medicine. Primary care physician. Who spends all the money? Who makes the expensive decisions?
The specialists in the hospitals.
So today in the United States, I am 66 years old. If I go to see a cardiologist and I say I've had some discomfort somewhere between my upper earlobe and my knee, there's a very good probability that he will say, we need to do a heart catheterization. Why?
Because he needs to make the money.
How much do you think he makes in the U.S.?
I don't know in the US, but in Colombia the price is $1,000.
Yeah, so in the U.S. I don't know, let's say it's $2,000, okay? That's just for his part of it. So the whole thing is gonna cost $15,000, all right?
Yeah, glass and